Frack on to a new episode, to a new show. We're calling, we don't know yet. Right now, the working title is Frack the Comics. But we haven't decided if that's the title. We'll see. I am joined by my brother from another mother, the co-host with the most, Mr. CJ McCree, all the way from Milwaukee. What is up, good sir?
That's right. That's the co-host with the most, babe. Yes. It's about some comic book stuff, like that's kind of like the base. That's kind of like the basis of a lot of the stuff that we talk about on the show anyway.
Right.
But we never really, sometimes we do. Obviously you can't fully get away from it. You know what I mean? But it's, thought we just talk actual comic book stuff today. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Like no TV shows, no cartoon, just the actual source material stuff, the comics themselves.
Yes. So I had a thought, because that I like a whole lot. And it has become a bit of a legacy character. And there is what the legacy is from. There's a new movie coming out in a little bit, which I'm excited to see, which is The Batman. Now, this doesn't actually have this character in it, right? But as a big Robin fan, we could take this chance to do a bit of a Robin talk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see. I guess I haven't really looked too much into it, but it doesn't seem like it's a super popular subject. But Robin is popular. You know what I mean? He's had a long running, very many series with each of the Robins. Have had their own Robin series. I own a lot of it, or not a lot of it. I own, I own various.
He personally owns the rights to that Robin.
Right, exactly. It's written in the moon, signature signed by. Anyways,
the moon is his too.
But yeah, I just let's talk about Robin. So let's start off with, what was your favorite Robin, and of course why? You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'll start. I guess I start. My favorite Robin. It's weird. I kind of have two, but I guess I prefer this one more over the other. I grew up with Dick Grayson Robin because of the Adam West Batman TV show, because of the Batman animated series. But comic book wise, the one I grew up reading, the Robin I grew up reading, was in Teen Titans, was in Young Justice Graduation Day, and it's Tim Drake. That's my Robin, because that's the one he was Robin when Dick Grayson was around by those times. He was Nightwing, so I'm like, well, you're Robin, but the Robin now is Tim Drake. So that's why he's my Robin. That's why he's my favorite. I like that he was more of the detective, kind of like he was like, and in those books, at least he's always wanted. At least when Jeff Johns was writing him in Teen Titans, he was always trying to be outside of that shadow. What's his fuck? I just said it. What's his fucking name? Dick Grayson and Batman's shadow. Like, I'm my own man. I'm my own. Yeah, I'm a Robin, but I'm not another Robin. I'm my own Robin. I think he became Red Robin. I don't know. Like, I haven't read comics in a minute, so I think he's Red Robin now. But I'm like, I prefer Tim Drake. He's my Robin.
I think that he's actually something even different than Red Robin now. I know that he did become Red Robin, which I always thought was so stupid. I'm like, if you're gonna change your name, why just add a color in front of it? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to go out and be your own hero, you know what I mean? Like, why are you Red Robin? I just felt like in a world where there was an actual Robin, you know what I mean? Like, Red Robin was like such a stupid change. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what? Like, you want your own identity, but you're still tying your own identity to this identity, this already identity that's already there. You know what I mean? It's like if Burger King was Black McDonald's instead of
you mean McDowell's?
McDowell's, right? no, we're just McDowell's. You know what I mean? Like, freaking, no, like. Anyways, freaking. But
America reference.
I like, and I like Tim Drake. The thing is, I like all the Robins. That Gotham Knights game is coming out, and I'm super excited.
Oh yeah, that is.
A lot of the Robins in it, and like, I like all the Robins, and so answer my own question and to talk to some of the points that you were making. Even, you know what I mean? Like, I like Dick Grayson Robin. You know what I mean? When I grew up, like, just like you said, you know what I mean? Dick Grayson was Robin, you know what I mean? And a lot of in the shows that you mentioned, in Batman Forever, the movie, you know what I mean?
Freaking, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that movie.
In the Batman the Animated Series, Dick Grayson was Robin. But see, and being such a Robin fan, like, I always go through this, and I have to go through these specific points, right? I'm like, I like Dick Grayson, But you know what? I actually prefer Dick Grayson as Nightwing. You know what I mean? Like he was Robin, he was the OG Robin, and I still like his character a lot. But I think I prefer him as Nightwing. You know what I mean? Jason Todd, he's pretty cool, but you know what? I really like freaking Red Hood. You know what I mean? Like I really like Red Hood.
Like, so
Freaking
if you're asking who my favorite like Batman sidekick was, I'm gonna go with Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Yeah, like for sure. Like if I like between Dick Grayson and Tim Drake, I'm like, Dick Grayson by this much of a hair. But yeah,
actually, I never. You know what? When you put it like that, like yeah, I would make the same choice. If you asked me who your favorite Batman sidekick was, I would go with Dick Grayson. But yeah, and my favorite Robin, I have to go down those lines. Like, so to me, it's actually really a choice between Damian Wayne and Tim Drake, because my Tim Drake was a lot of things that you mentioned. You know what I mean? He was kind of the Robin that was up and coming when I was up and coming too. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I was introduced to Dick Grayson, but also like I was introduced to like this idea of Tim Drake and like him being the successor to a couple of Robins, and him being this, and then him being great in his own right. And I came to respect that. Um, but Damian Wayne has a sword, dude.
swords are cool. Swords are
Damian
cool.
Wayne sword, and he's the grandson of Ra's al Ghul, and he's the son of freaking Batman and Talia al Ghul, dude. Like freaking Damian,
Wait,
like just on principle, like just on this is the description of this character. Freaking Damian Wayne takes it already. Like for me, he
I
takes.
mean, he like so. Here's the thing about Damian Wayne. Like each Robin has been like an adoptive son to Batman, but this he is literally Batman's son. I'm like, that's kind of on the nose, DC. A little bit. That's a little on the nose, don't you think?
It is, but it's like it also makes. See, that's the thing. It also makes him the rightful Robin. Am I? It also makes him the one who can, like, besides Dick Grayson, who gave it up, right? Besides Dick Grayson, who gave it up. If Dick Grayson wanted to be Robin, I'd be like, look, it's his, right? But freaking, but I think him being Batman's son, and not just that, but like just the trained he is, you know what I mean? Like it makes him freaking Robin. Like he is Robin. Like not just Robin, like he is like going to be Batman. You know what I mean? Like he is going to be Batman. And I know because he feels like it's his. You know what I mean? Like as being the son of Batman, he feels like it's his too. You know what I mean?
I just don't like him. He reminds me of like he's such a little prick. He's such
He
a
is.
little arrogant ass wipe.
He's
I'm like,
literally he's Batman's son. You know what I mean? Like he's Batman's son with like an edge. You know what I mean?
like
Like
he's like, all right. This is how I put it. Batman is Spock, and Damien is Bones. Put in Star Trek terms.
he's
Like
kind of Bones,
like
yeah.
he kind of like keeps it like Batman keeps it in. Like Damien's like he's so evil. He's like me, but 10 times worse. If you know me, that's very funny.
No, yeah, right. And but and he's so arrogant. I just like that. I like, but and part of me, I like you have to have so many iterations of Robin before you can get to a Robin that is like that too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because Robin is so many things. Robin is meant to be like this antithesis of Batman, right? You know what I mean? This thing that pulls Batman closer to the light, because that
Right.
Batman is so close to the darkness already. But then you have this thing with the colorful outfit, and I can't remember if it was in one of the animated movies or a comic I read where he was alluding to like the costume being so bright, and it's like Robin, hey, we're meant to be the distraction, so the Batman can come in and do the freaking thing. You know what I mean? That's why the outfit's so bright. So he wears black and shit. Like
Is
it's
that's so familiar? I think that was Under the Red Hood, wasn't it?
it
That
might have
sounds.
been it might have been under the red hood. Yeah, it might have been under the red hood.
Okay, so yeah, so you gave me okay. I just like he reminded me of Jason Todd, but worse. Like Jason Todd was arrogant, Jason Todd was full of himself, and Damian Wayne is 10 times worse than that character. Which I don't know if that's about the writers or the character like taking his own life. I'm like, everyone that's
Mhm.
written Damian Wayne, anything I've seen him in, I want to punch that little kid.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but you know what the thing is he's arrogant, but he's not like, but it's like it still makes him the Batman of the team.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like what? Like if he's in Teen Titans or something, right?
Uh-huh.
But like he's so Batman. You know what I mean? Like he's so Batman because Batman is that. Batman is that. You know what I mean? Especially like like when I see him like interact with other people, it's like I think it makes me think of Batman interacting with the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like it's like Batman is this just like whatever. Like I am right. Don't argue with me because it's just gonna waste both of our times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've all right, you don't know how my brain works, dude. Like, freaking, I've thought about this shit. I have a better strategy. Don't fucking don't contradict me, dude. Like, freaking, just freaking, we're doing this and this and this because it's the right because I said so, and I don't want to talk about it.
The one I do like in the one episode, the one thing I did see that I did like in was when was it Teen Titans versus the Justice League? I think that was the one, and he gets to a fight with Blue Beetle, and what does he say? He doesn't apologize. He says, "I'm."
Jaime?
Yeah?
Perhaps it was a mistake to challenge you this morning without knowing the full capacity of your alien attachment. I promise you, it won't happen again.
And then people be like, "Oh, it's okay," and he goes, and I'm like, "No, he didn't apologize, dude. He threatened you. Like, next time he's gonna take you out." That's how I understood it. I'm like, okay, this little kid, I want to punch him, but that was such a badass.
Dude, I know because he's such a bad. Because it's like he is also an assassin.
Yeah.
Like you know, what I mean? He is also trained by the League of Shadows. Like he's not. You know what I mean? He wasn't trained by Batman. You know what I mean? Like all the rest of the Robins were. Like he was trained by the people who trained Batman. You know, in some respects.
I just like I like because here's the thing. I've always maybe because I don't know. I like the juxtaposition of Tim Drake and Dick Grayson's happiness, go lucky. Let's keep a smile on people's faces. Robin, I'm just like, all right, this like you said, there should be an antithesis to Batman, and I think that I feel that Robin should be that, like, be like the distraction, be the happy guy, like like in what was it in Young Justice? People should be whelmed to see. That was for you.
Not overwhelmed, right?
Just feel like, oh, it's Robin, great, yeah, you know. I don't know, just like seeing two of the same. But here's the thing though, too, like even like Robin, since I've been reading comics, like Robin's either not that much with Batman. So I'm like, so why do you call yourself Robin if you're not really with Batman too, right?
So this is a perfect segue to something that I also wanted to talk about.
Yes, let's.
With this in this subject, right? And we haven't even mentioned all of it, right? We just kind of talk about our favorite. It's just
general. Honorable mentions then. Honorable mentions. Stephanie Brown.
Okay, what are we mentioning her for?
First blonde Robin, who's also a woman.
Listen, I don't know too much about Stephanie Brown. I know that she was a Robin. I know that she died, and then I know that later it was retconned. I know she's in a series now called Batgirls. Don't know too much about her. What was the name of the Robin, the chick Robin in Dark Knight Returns?
Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie. Then maybe honorable mention. I don't remember her name either from Batman Beyond.
Was she a Robin?
She was. I mean, I feel like I want to count her as like an honorable mention. There was just like that one reference in that one episode.
I mean, she was more like Oracle.
She was more like Oracle, certainly. Like she wasn't out in the field.
Doesn't Batman Beyond the comics have a Robin? Isn't it his sister? I mean, brother?
I feel like it did eventually introduce that. I can't remember because I did actually enjoy the Batman Beyond series for a minute. The DC one. Yeah, honorable mention. I mean, we kind of passively mentioned. So okay, well, yeah.
Matthew McGinnis. That was it. Was Matthew? I found Matthew McGinnis.
Matthew McGinnis. Okay. So yeah, before we get into the other part of the discussion, I want to say, yeah, well, just general thoughts on some of these other Robins. All right. So you mentioned Stephanie Brown. I kind of gave my thoughts. I don't know too much about her. Your thoughts on Stephanie Brown?
I thought she was cool. I remember she was kind of like, well, I think at one point, I remember correctly, I think she was dating Tim Drake, but she was the spoiler. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, why are you taking another? But I hate that when they take like one character's another character's mantle, like Falcon becoming Captain America. I'm like, why? So I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you doing that?
I don't know. Sometimes I had appreciated it in the way that the DC universe was doing it for a while, but I don't know. Like, yeah. All right, Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, I hate Jason Todd. I hate him so much. Like he was a little he's not as bad as Damian Wayne in my opinion, but I'm like he was the reason why people killed people voted for him to die in the 80s. If that doesn't say anything about him, I don't know what it does. I don't know how to dude. People voted for him to die.
Yeah, I don't really care for his Robin so much.
Yeah,
he became Robin because he was freaking trying to rob the Batmobile, right?
Which is the dumbest. I'm like, that's why you're Robin, really?
You know what I mean? And so Batman trained. It was like basically Batman seeing a delinquent that could use some guidance and freaking went and trained him, and it just kind of didn't turn out too well. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
It's like, the best of intentions, and his story is tragic, but I much prefer the Red Hood persona.
Yep. I second that.
His Robin, you know what I mean? If any Robin would have died, I'm glad it's his. I'm glad it's him. Yeah, all right. And then was there anybody else? Because we talked at length about the other couple of Robins, I think.
According to Wikipedia, let me see. Where did it go? I guess officially, the 4 canon ones: Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Briggs, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne, and then Carrie Kelly, which we talked about. Which, again, I'm like to me, it's kind of reminiscent of Dick Grayson a little bit, like the happy-go-lucky
foil to Batman's infinite darkness. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which would be interesting if they actually add like a Robin character into like the Batman, universe. You know what I mean? That would be interesting. So yes, like I was saying, your segue from 5 minutes ago was way better, but now
what was the segue?
No, we were talking about you were talking about because I like Damian Wayne. We were talking about Damian Wayne. You're talking about kind of, you don't like that he might, he's not necessarily the same happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That the others were, and I think he is. I think he does bring another dynamic. It's just not the happy-go-lucky one, because I do think he is an opposite of Batman in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, because of his ideals are different from Batman. Raised by the Ra's al Ghul side of his family, so he comes from thinking, and Ra's al Ghul's sense of justice is just as strong as Batman's. You know what I mean? Like, freaking, he's not like. He's not. Ra's al Ghul doesn't do things on a whim. Ra's al Ghul has a code. You know what I mean? Ra's al Ghul is like, no, I'm doing this because this shit is right. You know what I mean? Like, I am correcting the world right now. You know what I mean? Like, freaking, which is literally the same way Batman feels. You know what I mean? Like, he just doesn't want to kill. You know what I mean? Like, so Damian Wayne to me is another antithesis to Batman. You know what I mean? In that respect. Because their ideals are different. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, he doesn't bring him back. He doesn't bring him back closer to the light. But with that respect, with what you were talking about, right? With there not being this happy-go-lucky world versus this darkness. Because in the end, right, that's what Robin's creation was, right? That's why Robin came. He came to be this. Well, Batman was the guy you admire that you can't be, but he came to be this relatable sort of version of this hero that you can imagine you were, because you're a kid, you're watching the stuff, you're eating it up, you know what I mean? Like, Robin was the kid that you step into, like, yeah, I'm Robin, I get saved by Batman sometimes, but I also get to punch guys in the nuts or whatever. But because they always have like, it's like that's the obligatory like kid hero scene, you know what I mean? Like, or at least from like the 90s and 80s, right? Like, it's just punching some guy in the nuts.
Nothing says 90s more than the punch of the balls. I love Bloodsport style.
Right. But okay, with that idea, I've been like leading into this for the last 20 minutes. But like, with that idea, do you think that a Robin character is necessary today?
That is a great question, and I'm glad you bring that up. And I don't think it's weird because when we grew up with the Adam West Batman, right? So Robin, it was Batman and Robin.
Right.
But
it's indication. Let's clarify. We're not immortals.
I can't speak for that. I can't. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm only 35. I don't know. Anywho, since the 80s, the Batman and we've always seen Batman and Robin. But didn't that all change with the first Batman, the Tim Burton Batman, where there was no Robin till the third movie? So I'm like, you don't really need a Robin. Like, why? Like, why does Batman need a Robin? That's always something that bugged me, even as a kid. I'm like, but he's supposed to be a loner. And the older I got, once I read comics, I'm like, why does Batman need a sidekick? Why does Batman have a whole family, as the books have? Like, Batman has a Bat family. Superman, who is like the friendliest, happiest, good-looking, has no family. He has Supergirl, but that's his cousin, but she does his own thing. Superman just got his wife and I guess now his kid or kids. So I'm like, and it's still just him and the immediate family. Batman has a lot of like, and I think they said it too in Batman Hush. So in the Catwoman's like, for a supposed loner, you have a lot of strings attached. You have a lot of strings attached to you. I'm like, yeah, that's right. He does. Back to your question though. I don't think Batman needs a Robin. I don't think so. Why? He's a loner. He's a Batman. Like they use Robin as a bait, as a hostage all the time to bait Batman. I'm like, Jason Todd, a perfect example. Again, he got killed. Joker used him as a bait to bring in Batman. You know, I don't think Batman needs a Robin.
But well, listen, I don't think Batman needs a Robin either. But the question is more so, does the world need a Robin?
Okay, that's a different question. Yes, I believe Batman. The world does need a Robin. I do believe they need someone who is like as happy as good, someone who is the positive side. Someone you need a yang to the yang. I believe that, especially nowadays, dude. Like I've been burned out. Like I've been telling you what I've been doing. Like I wasn't healthy. So I'm like, I feel that the world does need a Robin. Like there has to be a balance. I think we talked about this when we were really minor once. Leave it at that. Like I'm like, the world needs a balance. The world needs a yin and a yang. Everything can't be too good or too bad. It has to be a balance of that. And I think that a Robin is that balance to Batman's darkness. I think the world needs Robin's brightness in more ways than one.
I hear you. I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know that, especially nowadays, I don't know that Robin needs to be attached to Batman. I don't even necessarily know that in the comics he even is anymore. You know what I mean? Like I know there's like Robin series by themselves, you know what I mean? Like I know, but like just this idea, I think the idea that Robin is a legacy character is almost a ridiculous notion, right? You know what I mean? Like a ridiculous notion because of what you said before. Like Batman doesn't need a Robin, so why does he keep collecting Robins? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right. Like because I thought that Dick Grayson's story, it should have been like kind of a 1 in a million thing. You know what I mean? Like that thing happened, and then it's like, oh, okay, I get it, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Maybe you should be Robin to freaking get over your shit, like I had to get over mine. You know what I mean? Like, freaking. But like for that to keep happening, too, you know what I mean? They're like different kids. You know what I mean? So like all of a sudden Batman was like, oh well, this kind of worked for Dick Grayson, so let me just open an after school program. like Batman is not Professor X, you know what I mean?
Like Professor X for school for gift orphans.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, dude, why? Like
instead of the X-Men, the Robin men and women.
right. The B-men.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I would watch that.
I would too.
I'd watch that for $1.
Yes, only that much though. Only that much money.
Like, no more. Final offer. Take it or leave it.
You know.
I think the world needs a Robin. I think Batman needs a Robin though, if that makes sense.
No, I got you. I would actually be interested in it now that there have been so many Robins. I would actually, and I think there is a Robins comic, at least about to come out, or is on an coming out now. But I was like, you know what? I'd actually would be interested in a Robins, like since there's been so many, like a Robin team almost, like just kind of them doing some stuff. Which is kind of why I'm glad Gotham Knights is coming out.
Not this year.
It should be. I hope so. It did get put. It got pushed back. It should. It was supposed to come out last year, I believe.
Oh yeah, but then Corona.
That Rona.
No, I don't know. Like, yeah, yeah, I think.
But
Like
so
I said,
when I guess, but okay, so you said a Robin should exist. Okay, but should a Robin, then follow up question, should a Robin be, because I've given my thoughts on this matter. I don't necessarily feel like he needs to be attached to Batman. Should, in your opinion, should a Robin be attached to Batman?
not anymore. Not nowadays, because there's so many Robins without him. There's Dick Grayson. There's Jason Todd. There's Tim Drake. So like you can have your variety of flavors of Robin that you like. You can have the morose. You can have the happies. You can have the assholes. So like you don't need to go to Batman anymore. Like you can be trained by any of these other Robins.
Crazy.
That's my opinion. Like I don't.
That's crazy. So, and that's interesting. Like it would be interesting if there were a Robin where that was the case. It would be interesting if there were like a new Robin that was trained by a Robin.
That would, I would love to see. I mean, it didn't.
The Batman, you know what I mean?
I mean, didn't that kind of happen with Batman and Robin when Dick Grayson became Batman?
I mean, but it was like I said, like I guess you're not wrong about that, because Dick Grayson was the Robin,
Right.
and then with him being his Robin, he would have to kind of rein him in a bit, like. But you know what I mean? It's almost like Damian Wayne wasn't trained. You know what I mean? Like he was trained by assassins, you know.
Right.
He wasn't necessarily trained by anybody from the Bat family. Except just scolded, probably.
Damn it, Damien. Jesus Christ, Damien. Oh my God.
That was Dick Grayson, probably.
I'll tell you my cake kill Dick Grayson. Damn it, Damien. I'll tell you what, boy. Propane.
All right. Oh boy.
Something not wrong with that boy.
This round robin discussion.
That's the name of the episode. You have the round robin discussion. I like it. Final comments, final thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, you know, I've always been a Robin fan. I imagine I always will be. Like, he's a colorful ninja. I get it. You know what I mean? I still like it. I don't know why I like Robin so much, to be honest, but he did kick off my love for sidekick characters. But in today's day and age, you know, I got why they made Robin back in the day, but today's day and age, you know, like you said, Batman has a whole family. Like, he doesn't need a particular Robin. If he needs help, there's plenty of it to go around. You know what I mean? He doesn't need anybody kind of particular Robin. You know what I mean? Did he marry Catwoman?
I don't know, dude. Like, they've been off and on against so much that I have no idea. I'm like,
and it's like, that's another thing to even think about. Like, Catwoman, who is like kind of a I don't even know if she's even considered a villain these days, but like, I would say like she's even seems more on the side of the angels, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, she's almost kind of like his partner in some cases.
I was gonna say, like, she's been off and on. I don't know. I think she's an anti-hero now. I think is the best you can call her. I wouldn't call her a straight up hero, but again, if you have your own comic book, you're a hero.
Right. In some respects, right?
But you know, if you have your own title, you're a hero. I mean, you could argue about Joker, but I'm like, well, Joker's obviously it's not a villain. I mean, not a hero. You know, neither is Deathstroke. But I'm like, all right, I'll read those books for a minute. But like,
at least Deathstroke, you can buy a bit, like, because he's a merc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Deathstroke is like, well, whoever is paying Deathstroke, he's gonna be doing whatever the fuck they want him to do. He's gonna do whatever the frack they want him to do. So it doesn't matter with him. You know what I mean? He could be good if somebody's wealthy enough to freaking get him to do something good. You know.
True. You are true. You are true. You are right.
Does he do things on his own design? I don't know.
The only book I've read that in,
the bad guy in Teen Titans.
The only book I saw him do that in, hold on, let me see, was this one, X-Men Teen Titans. And I think that was he wasn't hired. I think he just did it on his own. But I don't I don't think he's pretty much a merc for hire. Unless it's something with his kids. I remember that was a big thing in the Teen Titans run I read. Like he
But
was
that's
trying to do
just
his
what I
job.
was just thinking. Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on, like, because he did turn he did kind of like turn the Teen Titans against each other.
And then I remember he had his daughter who like had, I don't know, he had her poke her eye out, or she poked her out on her own to be like, I'm like just like you. I'm like, that's fracked up. What the frack is this? Yeah, it's. I think he's one of my favorite DC villains outside of Joker, and Zoom.
Yeah, I think it's pretty rad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Zoom too. Yeah, I like Zoom. I like a couple of the
I like
iterations.
DC Zoom, not Silicon Valley Zoom. Sorry, I have to give you that joke in there. Fucking, I don't care. That made me laugh a little bit.
Nice. All right. Well,
All right.
that's all the Robin and I got in my bobbing.
Well, thank you for joining. Thank you. This was awesome. I can't wait to do more of these. This was actually a lot of fun. I can't. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was like nerding out with something, just like no comics, no nothing, no movie, just nerd out about whatever happens comes out. This was fun. Thank you for the idea, CJ. We'll see you same fracking time, same fracking channel. Frack off.